Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the 361 Degrees Biospeed BB. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and please hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. Also, if you did want to buy a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. If you do purchase through that link, it does help me out directly, which is very much appreciated. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Biospeed BB features this diamond traction pattern outsole, I guess, or triangle pattern outsole. And it features RPU. And how does it perform? Overall, it's good. Like, if you're playing on your clean courts, you're gonna have no issues whatsoever. You're gonna have a very, very hard stop. It is very, very nice. It stops super hard on, on your clean courts. But as you play on dustier courts, you will notice that obviously the traction performance deteriorates. And yeah, if you're playing on like your average gym courts, I think you should be okay. If you're playing on super dusty courts, you will probably have a slight problem. You'll probably just slide to a stop. Like, this thing does pick up dust on the dustier courts. You will have to wipe, and honestly, the dust kind of accumulates pretty quickly again. So you will have to wipe pretty constantly or pretty consistently. So I would say, like, if you're playing on extremely dusty courts, this probably isn't going to be the best bet for you. But if you're playing on like average dusty to clean courts, I think you're going to have no problems. Just, make sure you wipe off the dust from time to time, and you should still have a pretty solid bite. So yeah, overall traction is good. Just watch out if you are playing on very dusty courts, you might not have the best time. So moving on to the cushion, the Biospeed BB features a full-length CQT midsole, which is their quick CQ tech, along with quick float. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what quick float is. And yeah, I just honestly, I don't know what it is or how it's implemented into this shoe. But what I will say is the CQT in this shoe compared to a bunch of other 361 shoes, it feels a little bit different. I would say it's not as like soft. It still feels good. The one thing I did notice that is pretty different from everything else is I think the court feel isn't as great. I would say this has like maybe like average court feel-ish, maybe a little bit worse than average. But I still felt like pretty comfortable for the most part. It's just not as soft as the other 361 degree basketball shoes that I played in. But overall, the CQT is still very, very nice. Don't expect like a lot of impact protection. You do get a decent amount. But yeah, the one thing that was really a downside to this cushion setup is the fact that I think the court feel definitely wasn't as great as the other 361 shoes that feature a full-length CQT midsole. So moving on to the materials, the Biospeed BB features like this textile material, and I think part of this is called Z-thread, and I'm not sure what that is. But overall, the materials feel very, very light. Feels very, very comfortable on foot. One thing though is I think for the price, like the quality doesn't feel the best. Like, I wish it had like more premium feeling materials, but in terms of the performance, it does get the job done just fine. You do have like these fuse overlays on the higher wear areas and in random parts of the shoe. As you move towards the back, you do have like a screen mesh type of material. Moving to the tongue, you do have like this other textile material. You don't have too much padding in the tongue, but if you do like to crank down your laces, I didn't really feel any irritation on the top of my foot, which is awesome. So yeah, I mean, overall, the material usage from a quality standpoint, like I think it could have definitely been, like more premium feeling, but in terms of the performance, it does get the job done just fine. So moving on to the fit, I would say that the Biospeed BB does run true to size. I'm a slightly wide footer. I went true to size and I felt perfectly fine. Maybe if you have really wide feet, you might feel just like a little bit of slight pressure up in the forefoot area. But yeah, me as a slightly wide footer, I was perfectly fine. I didn't really have any dead space in the toe box area. I think the materials lie very nicely over the foot, and they kind of have to be because these materials are like super thin and everything. So, obviously if you don't, you're gonna have some like issues, especially when it comes to support. But yeah, I mean, this does have a half booty upper as well. So yeah, you are going to have as close of a 1-to-1 fit as possible. I think there's an adequate amount of padding in the heel area as well. So yeah, I mean, overall, I do think that the fit is good. If you have really wide feet, just watch out. You might want to go up a half size. But for everyone else, I think going true to size is your best bet. And I do think that the overall fit was pretty damn good in the Biospeed BB. So moving on to the support, I personally didn't have any issues with the support in the Biospeed BB. You do have an internal heel counter. It is very, very stiff and rigid. And along with that nice heel padding, I didn't have any heel issues, no containment issues, no heel slippage, nothing like that. As far as side-to-side movement on the footbed, you're gonna be covered there as well. I think the materials do a great job of making sure your foot is nice and planted. And then when it comes to hard lateral movements, you're gonna be covered there as well. This does have a very wide base, and the foam actually protrudes out to form like a pseudo outrigger. On top of that, you do have like this full length TPU plate that basically cages the midsole from overcompression, so you definitely aren't going to be having those instabilities on your cuts, your crosses, or anything that involves like hard lateral movements. And then when it comes to torsional rigidity and stability, you're going to be covered there as well. You do have a carbon plate in here, a carbon fiber plate. So yeah, I mean, you know, you're going to be covered. Like, this does have very good support, and I had no support issues in the Biospeed BB. So the Biospeed BB retails for $169 or $170, and for $170, yeah, it is an expensive shoe. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great performer for the most part. I think the biggest gripe for me is the fact that obviously, you know, on really dusty courts, you are going to suffer a little bit, and you're gonna have to wipe a lot, and you're gonna slide around. You won't slip out completely or anything, but you will slide to a stop. And then the other thing is obviously, I think the CQT setup in here isn't as nice as other 361 basketball shoes that have a full length CQT midsole. Because of that, like I said, I don't think the court feel is the best in this shoe. It's not bad, but it's not the best, right? It's fairly average. So those are really my only two gripes. But overall, it's still a solid performer. If you want something that's light, like very light, this is an extremely light shoe. So yeah, I mean, still a solid performer. I would personally rather play in other 361 degree basketball shoes though. But you know, if you want something that looks pretty cool, I would say this is like maybe a competitor of like the Adizero Select line from Adidas. It's just in terms of the lightness of the shoe, and you know, obviously in here you're getting way more tech than in those. And does that really justify the price? Maybe. Like, it's not a bad shoe. It is a little bit expensive, but if you don't mind the price, go ahead and pick up a pair. Just like I said, watch out for the traction on those really dusty courts. And yeah, I mean, besides that, it's not bad. If you want to buy a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. But that's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave a comment, as those really do help me out. Check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.